Hello everyone and welcome to the top 5. Our first story, Europe imposes fresh sanctions against Iran. Iran's shipping lines company says the European Union has banned Iranian vessels from using its ports and shipping lines. The head of the Islamic Republic of Iran shipping lines, the IRISL, says under the new sanctions, the Iranian maritime fleet will not be allowed to carry petrochemical products, oil and vehicles. Mohammad Hossein Dajmar says the IRISL will pursue the matter through legal channels. The European Court of Justice had already ruled as illegal EU sanctions against Iran's shipping lines in September. The 28-member bloc could have appealed the ruling during a 70-day period, but the court didn't receive any requests to appeal the verdict. That means the EU should have dropped its past sanctions against the IRISL. Under the Geneva nuclear deal between Iran and the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council plus Germany, no new sanctions would be imposed on Iran. We're going to go back to our first story, and it was, of course, about the Geneva agreement between Iran and the P5+1 group of countries. Mr. Mohammad Marandi, professor with the University of Tehran, is with us on the line now from the Iranian capital. Now, Mr. Marandi, just to repeat part of our news that we had, Europe imposing fresh sanctions on Iran. Iran's shipping company saying that its vessels cannot use European ports and shipping lines. Now, the official EU position on this is that we are not increasing sanctions on Iran because that, they say, cannot happen under the Geneva Agreement, but we are maintaining the sanctions as of yet. What do you think about this move? Do you think this move is keeping up the pressure on Tehran, and why do you think it's been taken by the EU?
I think that the problem that the EU and the United States have is that they have not come to terms with reality in many ways, and that is recognizing Iran as an equal partner, as an equal country, and as an equal people. They view the world in very Eurocentric terms. They think that they can sign an agreement and then add extra pressure on the country so that the country would bow down to them somehow. But what they really do is they increase mistrust, not only among government officials, but among ordinary Iranians. Because I think that the Iranians have shown, not just to the people in this part of the world, but to the international community, that they have gone to the negotiations with goodwill. They've come to an agreement, and the least that European countries could have done would have been to behave in a more responsible manner, so that Iranians could gain further trust to push the negotiations forward and to come eventually to an agreement, or at least decrease tension. But this sort of behavior shows that they really cannot deal with Iran in an appropriate manner. But the hope is that in the coming weeks and months, as they see that the Iranian government will not appease them as a result of these actions, perhaps they'll become more reasonable in the coming negotiations and during the coming weeks and months.
Professor Mohammad Marandi with the University of Tehran joining us there on the line. Thank you very much.